So as you can see after the game, Caitlin Clark and Sophie are both running up to the referee here. They are both so upset, and the referee is just walking away from them. He won't even look at them in the face. He keeps turning. Like, Sophie even went up at one point and is like tapping on his arm. He would not even.
The Indiana Fever just played their biggest game of the season, a sold-out crowd, playoff energy, Caitlin Clark squaring off against the defending champs. It had all the makings of a WNBA classic, but instead, it turned into a refereeing disaster. Caitlin Clark was getting hacked all night, Lexi Hull got slapped with a phantom foul, and the officials seemed determined to gift-wrap the win for New York. Fans weren't just frustrated, they were outraged. Even Fever head coach Stephanie White hit her breaking point, and Caitlin didn't hide her frustration either. This isn't a one-off, it's a trend, a serious problem, and it's dragging the league's credibility through the mud. And now, things have exploded. In a stunning twist, the WNBA just suspended Commissioner Cathy Engelbert after internal reports revealed she repeatedly failed to address the growing officiating crisis, ignoring the voices of players, coaches, and fans. This is the first time in WNBA history that something this big has happened at the top, and honestly, no one's even surprised. What's crazier? Insiders say league owners and executives have been quietly pushing for her removal for weeks, especially after stars like Caitlin Clark started speaking out. Some believe Cathy became the fall person to protect the league's image, but the damage is already done. Stick around, we're breaking down every bad call, every moment of chaos, and why the WNBA has to fix this right now or risk losing the wave of fans Caitlin just brought in. Let's dive in.
They've done a great job of rigging this. They've done a great job of rigging this league. The league, they're not even being subtle. They're not even being subtle. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Let's not sugarcoat this, people are openly calling the WNBA rigged, and they're not whispering about it. From the moment the Fever hit the floor, something felt off. It wasn't just a regular season game, it had playoff intensity. The crowd was electric, the atmosphere was on fire, but while Indiana came to battle, the refs seemed like they came to interfere. Caitlin Clark was hacked all game, no whistles. Lexi Hull played perfect defense and got called for a foul that never even happened.
The fact that this referee wouldn't even acknowledge the players was kind of crazy to me. Like, when I saw that, I said, this is really strange, because the referee should have enough confidence in the calls that they made to at least discuss. You should be able to at least discuss.
Meanwhile, New York lived at the free throw line. And this isn't just a bad night, it's becoming a pattern. If you were watching live, did any of this feel fair? Since Caitlin Clark stepped into the league, the physical play against her has skyrocketed. She's been pushed, grabbed, blindsided, and the refs just let it slide. Remember Kennedy Carter's dirty off-ball hit? That wasn't a borderline call, it was dangerous, and yet the refs called it a common foul. Not a flagrant, not a technical, just another play. And it's not just Clark, the entire Fever squad has been on the wrong side of the whistle all season.
I can't believe what I'm about to say. The Indiana Fever, with the strongest, loudest, most intimidating home court advantage in all the WNBA, just got robbed at home. I saw it with my own two eyes live on CB.
Want the hard numbers? The Fever are -31 in free throw differential this season. That's not a typo, that's a crisis. Now back to this Liberty game. It had everything: Caitlin Clark delivering gorgeous dimes to Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull locking in on defense, huge plays, big momentum swings. It should have been an instant classic. Instead, ref drama. New York shot 32 free throws. The Fever? Just 15. More than double in a tight game. That's not a stat, that's a game winner. And it wasn't just the number, it was the quality of the calls. Soft fouls for New York, no calls when Clark got bodied. It felt like two separate rulebooks. On the final possession, Caitlin Clark got mauled. For different fouls. 0 whistles. Can you even imagine that happening to LeBron or Steph in crunch time?
Pointing, that it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways. But we also can't allow that to consume us, right? Like, we've got to be able to play through that. We've got to be able to control the things that we can control. I felt like at times our late game execution was good, and I consider most of the latter half of the fourth quarter because it was a
Coach
tight.
Stephanie White was done. In the post-game press conference, she went off. She called out the -31 free throw gap and said, "We're attacking the rim and still getting disrespected." This wasn't just frustration, this was weeks of bottled-up fury exploding. And she wasn't just standing up to the refs, she was standing up for her players, showing them she's got their back. That's the kind of leadership that matters, especially for a young team still finding their way. And Caitlin? She didn't torch the refs with her words, but her face said it all: disbelief, exhaustion, frustration. Aaliyah Boston? Just a quiet no comment, but sometimes silence says more than words. And here's where it gets insane: the WNBA suspended Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Yeah, the top boss is out. Why? Internal reports say she ignored months of escalating officiating complaints from players, coaches, and fans. And behind the scenes? Owners were already pressuring her to step aside. When Caitlin Clark finally spoke out publicly, that was the final straw. Some say Cathy was just the fall person, others say her time was up. Either way, it's the biggest shakeup the league has seen in years. The WNBA is at a crossroads. Caitlin Clark has brought millions of new fans, boosted ratings, sold out arenas. But those fans are seeing blown calls, lopsided officiating, and refs who don't even try to hide the bias. Fans know basketball. They know what a foul looks like. And they will leave if the league feels rigged.
Another year and another case of WNBA referees dropping the ball, not making the right calls when it comes to Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA had a golden chance to turn casual fans into lifelong diehards, but every missed call is pushing people away. So here's the question: would you keep watching a league that refuses to protect its biggest stars? This isn't just about cleaning up officiating, it's about saving the integrity of the game. It's about making sure every player, no matter how big their name, gets a fair shot. Because here's the hard truth: if the league loses Caitlin Clark's fan base, they don't get another chance like this. The Fever players are doing their part. The coaches are speaking up. The fans are showing up. Now it's the league's turn to actually do something. So what really happened with Cathy Engelbert? On the surface, the league said she suspended the refs after reviewing footage from that mess of a Fever Liberty game. Officially, it was about accountability. But when you look closer, it's way more complicated. Multiple insiders say that same night Engelbert was privately told to resign by top league executives. And it wasn't just about one game. This has been brewing for months. The biggest rumor? Bias. Specifically, favoritism toward the New York Liberty. And this isn't fan conspiracy, it's coming from people inside the league. Let's rewind to last year's WNBA Finals. The Liberty beat the Minnesota Lynx, but what stuck wasn't the game, it was what happened after. Engelbert walked onto the court to hand out the trophy wearing Liberty colors. Fans watching at home were like, "Wait, what?" She was smiling, wearing blue and black, and it instantly went viral. It looked like she was part of the team. And when the Liberty got a few late game calls that helped them seal the win, that image aged horribly. Maybe it was just a bad fashion choice. But for fans who already thought the league was soft on New York's super team, it looked like confirmation. That trophy moment planted a seed. Since then, every questionable call that's gone New York's way has watered that doubt. This latest Fever game? It was the breaking point. Missed calls, no calls, a brutal free throw gap, it all felt too obvious. And when the league suspended the refs only after fans exploded on social media? It was clear they were scrambling. Sources say league owners had been quietly pushing for Engelbert to step down for weeks. With Caitlin Clark bringing millions of new eyeballs to the league, the pressure was sky-high. They needed to send a message fast. Engelbert became the message. She became the cautionary tale. What started as a referee suspension ended with the commissioner being forced out. Why? Because the league finally realized it's not just about basketball anymore, it's about optics, trust, and fairness. And with the sports world now watching, the WNBA couldn't risk another disaster under her leadership. Let's be honest. If Caitlin Clark wasn't in this league, would this even have happened? Probably not. Clark isn't just changing the game, she's changing the business. Her presence brought TV deals, sellouts, and sky-high expectations. And every missed call now goes viral. That Liberty Fever game wasn't just a bad night, it was a national embarrassment. So the league panicked, suspended refs, silenced critics, and quietly told the commissioner to go. Because if Caitlin Clark's fans start feeling like this league isn't safe or fair, they'll leave. And they'll take the WNBA's biggest momentum surge ever with them. So here's the question, did the WNBA make the right move? Or did they just expose how broken things really are? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does the WNBA need a full officiating overhaul? Or was this just early season chaos? And if you made it this far, drop a comment because you're a real one. Thanks for watching, and trust me, this story is far from over. See you in the next one.